All right. What is up, guys? I'm your friendly neighborhood Web-Warrior Fanatic. And today we got a special guest. We have the Brandt from the Portal here. Huge shouts to Brandt for coming on the channel.
Howdy. Web-Warrior is a little quieter than I am. I'm one of the louder of the folk that are around. So I'm going to bring some energy and some loudness today, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. That would help. It's pretty early in the morning for me, so I'm still a little bit, not jet lagged, but like morning jet lagged, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun fact for people that don't know, the Brandt's actually my first ever collab on YouTube. He hit me up like a super long time ago. I don't know if you remember this. We played a two-player game. It was against a Sinister Six.
Yep.
Yeah, and we just
I
demolished
remember.
it.
Yeah.
Uh, Yeah,
I remember playing.
yeah, and I thought maybe you would be recording the game. It was not recorded, so we don't have the game anywhere. But yeah, that was like my actually like I don't know if you could consider that collab because it was never a video. But like yeah, it was very fun and Brand was very friendly because I was pretty new to the YouTube scene and all of that. So thank you, Brand. I appreciate it. It was a good time.
Yeah, no, it was great. We have to rectify. We have to record a video and put it on one of our channels together.
Yeah, for sure. Well, actually, we have like a PvP game actually, right? So
Oh, that's right. We did
yeah.
PvP together.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you
Thank you.
guys, yeah. If you guys
Remember.
want to see me and Brent fight each other, that's I believe on his channel. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So can you please tell us about your game store, the Portal, where you guys are located, and just any information about that for people that don't know what it is that you do.
Sure. There was a store existed, the Time Machine Hobby Store, in Connecticut, actually in the town I live, and it was kind of like a game focused store, and it got a chance to merge up in Manchester, Connecticut, just a little bit north, with a full hobby store, and so it became like toys, hobby, and games. And then in about 2014, if I remember correctly, it kind of like the game stuff started to outgrow that space, and they moved across the street and named the store the Portal. And day one that it opened, my friend was the manager there, and I was like, "Hey, I should come and demo games and work for you, just like kind of for fun." And I did. So I went and
Nice.
started working there and demoing games, and then we started a podcast, the Portal Gaming Podcast, talking about games and things. And the local library, some people in the board game space may know Jen, the board game librarian. She started hosting monthly events, so I was helping out there, kind of on behalf of the store. And it's gone on and on until recently. I took a job being kind of full time at the portal and doing events management. And so it's an FLGS in Connecticut, and runs all sorts of things. TCGs are running high right now,
Yeah.
but we host all sorts of weekly things. And Sundays I host Marble Champions.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I've seen your store. Like I haven't been there in person, but like I believe it was like Dale the Casual Gamer. He posted like a video where he like went in the store, and I've seen photos like online and stuff as well. It looks huge. It looks amazing. I've never ever been to. So I've been to all the game stores in my area, but like they're like I don't know the size of my apartment or something. Um,
Right.
Dude, your store, like maybe like I don't have the correct image in my mind, but it's like a mall or something. I don't know. It's like crazy, and like during events. There's like it's like it looks like photos from the Con of Heroes, I guess. It's like so many people. Yeah, I mean it looks incredible. So I will put like links in the description for like the store and all that stuff, like the Facebook group and like all that stuff for anyone that's in the area or anyone that wants to travel to check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's a mid-sized store. I've definitely been in a lot of stores with more floor space
Wow.
overall than what we have. But it's definitely bigger than some of those stores where you just kind of walk in and there's stacks and stacks of stuff. I love the Complete Strategist in Manhattan in New York City, but it is like you walk in and walk like this, and there's just stacks to each side
Oh,
because they
that
don't have
sounds
a lot of
awesome.
space, you know.
Yeah. So for your store, do you feel like how do you think the Marvel Champion scene is in the store? Because I saw like on Facebook like you guys have a lot of like One Piece TCG, which I've like kind of been getting into with like one friend that plays it. But like is the Marvel Champion scene like also I don't know, is it near anywhere competing with all the other like TCGs?
I mean, I would say no, like in terms of attendance and sales and things like that. But LCGs are just so different from TCGs in that front. Something like One Piece. The issue with a game like that is it's great, it's super popular, but you never have product in stock because of that.
Mm,
So Marvel Champions is nice, is that if somebody says, "Oh, I want to play shit," well, great. Here's a core box right here for you to pick up. So it's really nice on that front. It's very new player friendly, as opposed to some of the TCGs, which are so popular, but nobody has product. So it's borrow my deck or let me teach you how to play this or whatever. But our Marvel Champions group, we decided last year after we got home from Con of Heroes to just start running Marvel Champions weekly.
nice.
And we've got over a dozen players. And I would say on a given week, we're between 4 and 8, 8 and 10, somewhere around there. We usually
Nice.
have 2 tables running and sometimes 3 tables of Marvel Champions running on a Sunday afternoon.
Gotcha. So that's every single Sunday if you guys are in the area. I mean, if I was there, I would definitely make some time on Sunday to pop over. Yeah, sounds like a good time. So I wanted to ask you about mentioning about like how there's products on the shelves. So do you guys, so in my area, there's like kind of like two types of like game stores that like carry like Marvel Champions. And some of the stores have like super old stuff. Like they still have like Galaxy's Most Wanted, they still got like the core set. And like probably for a long time they had like, the Black Widow hero pack, like Miss Marvel hero pack, but they never bring in new stuff. And I'm unable to pre-order stuff from there either. They don't have new stuff. And then some stores they don't have like anything, but they always bring in like the not always, but most of the time they'll bring in like the newer products. So like what of like old stock do you guys have? And do you guys always have like the newest stuff? And I feel like I already know the answer to that question, but like yeah, just in terms of your like your stock and stuff, how is that like?
So we have nothing old in stock left. So the only old product, which is evergreen, is the core set. So we have the core set. Other than that, it's new hero packs, and then Agents of Shield and Age of Apocalypse are the
Okay.
boxes that we currently have. Now, if you go back to when we had an event in February at the store, we still had some old packs like Wrecking Crew, Kang, and some heroes like Valkyrie, Nebula, I believe,
Yeah.
Gamora around, and those all sold out at that time in February. So that's
Gotcha.
when we kind of got rid of the remaining kind of old stock,
Yeah.
and basically the same thing with Arkham Horror as well.
Okay.
With the Arkham Horror Chapter 2, which has been doing great, been incredible. In fact, I've been
Oh wow.
shocked. Well, that's been doing. We've gotten rid of all the previous Arkham Horror stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so it's kind of like the Our Prince situation is like kind of like affecting the store too, but you guys always have the newest stuff, right?
Yeah. The other thing I'll say that's been incredible is by running the group in the last year, there's been so many new players added to the game.
Nice.
I've been shocked by just sitting there and playing in front of people. Then they see the game, they ask what it is, they sit down to play a game, then they generally within some time frame purchase the core box and start playing. Some of them, try to purchase some of the backlog going on other sites and things to find what they can. And I mean, I'll be darned if we haven't added 6, 8 new people in the last year that are
Nice.
playing Marvel Champions. So I mean, to me, the popularity is through the roof, and new players are jumping in left and right. So I think it's great. Like people are getting into Champions when it's a quote unquote old game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Yeah, like would you say that that's like happening more like right now, or has this been like going on for like the like past year? Like where you feel like
No,
so many people are jumping in.
this is what's happening right now. And
Okay.
I think the fact that they announced that old stuff isn't reprinting, it's making people kind of like it's now or never kind of
Mm,
thing.
yeah.
I think you're seeing people who say, "Well, I really want to get this game, and I really like Magneto. I'm going to go find Magneto and play him kind of uh, exclusively to some
Yeah.
extent, or whatever." It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
an
yeah.
example. And they're like, "Oh, okay, wow, this game is way better than I expected. I thought it would kind of be like an on the shelf, take it off, play solo. Now that I've gone to play with people, wow, what a multiplayer experience!" Which is very much how I feel about the game. I have no qualms about people playing solo. Absolutely, they should. But man, I've never experienced a better multiplayer game in my life.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was like me getting into game was the exact same way. Like I was like, I want to play Spider-Man, and I just only want to play Spider-Man. So like, yeah, while we're recording this video, Magneto's still in the current environment. So anyone that loves Magneto, and if you want to play just Magneto, this is the perfect jumping in point. And yeah, I mean, I think right now I'm seeing like the numbers on my YouTube channel too. I think that it's going up because I think Daredevil is like a huge factor for like a lot of people really want to jump in the game. I'm super excited for him. I think you're excited for him. I actually don't know if you feel like he's gonna look like a good hero or not.
I am always excited for new heroes. I honestly love playing the precons for the reason not I understand the issues with the precon as a veteran player, but I enjoy seeing what the designers are trying to pull out of the new aspect card. And so by putting them all together, it's like they're a grouping saying, try to do this.
Yeah,
So I think that stuff can be really fun in a precon. And then I just love going across the gamut, including playing pool with all the heroes,
nice.
and see what I can do. So
Yeah.
I guess I've got to make a Daredevil pool deck.
Nice, nice. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think Daredevil is gonna have some good synergies in pool with all of his resource sinks. And yeah, so okay, I do want to clarify on a question though. Are you more excited for Daredevil, or are you just like the Sam? Like, cause you said, "Oh, I'm excited for any hero." Sam, I'm also excited for any hero, but I'm super excited for Daredevil.
Uh, I think for me, like I'm excited for the community to have Daredevil because they're so excited. I don't actually have a comic book connection. That's a big thing that people are always shocked with me. I am a Star Wars person through and through,
Okay,
but Marvel, I honestly only got into because of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
okay, okay.
I watched the X Men cartoon as a kid and played several X Men video games, including the like arcade. Because yes, I date back to when there were arcades and you would go play
No,
them
I
with
remember
quarters on the
that. I
machine.
remember that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Those are yeah.
So it's not like I didn't know about superheroes or watch movies or whatever, but I actually really have almost never read a comic book. So from that end, I will, however, say, as a Miss Marvel fan who is very events focused, I am extremely excited for Echo. I am
Okay.
actually more excited for Echo than Daredevil, but for the community, I'm more excited that they have Daredevil because,
Yeah.
boy, how often did he stare at us on those aspect
Yeah,
cards?
yeah, right. There's so many cards that have Daredevil art. Yeah. Yeah, I actually had a community poll on my channel asking like if, are people are they on Team Daredevil or if they're on Team Echo. And I was like I even worded the poll like, does it even need to be asked? I was expecting like, I don't know, 90% Daredevil, like 10% Echo. And like there's actually quite a few like Echo fans. I would say it's like maybe like one third of the community are actually more excited for Echo over Daredevil, which is like blasphemy to me. But yeah, I mean like my connection to characters aren't really from comics either for Daredevil and Echo, it's really like the Netflix series for Daredevil. Like it was when I became a really big fan. And then Echo, I mean, I only know it from the Disney Plus series. But I thought the Daredevil series like really made him more compelling to me than the other series. So, um, yeah,
Did
speaking
you
of
watch?
yeah yeah
Did you watch the new series, the new Daredevil?
yeah yeah
Me too. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
awesome yeah I thought there's some really cool plot points. I don't want to spoil it because I talked about it in live stream before, and people are like, "Dude, I don't want to hear spoilers for Daredevil on a Marvel Champions like video." But yeah, I think they're really cool plot points. I did feel like that the first like Netflix series, like season 3, was the best though. Yeah, so like this it really isn't that much of a spoiler. I know I said I was gonna spoil, but I'm don't want to like kind of not really spoil. Okay, no, okay. If you guys don't want to hear, this is not a spoiler. This is like literally the first episode. Okay, so basically on Born Again, Kingpin, like he becomes like respected in like the community and stuff, and becomes like what I mean. So it's like I thought the whole point of the first part of the series was that Kingpin keeps on tricking New York to like love him, think he's awesome, and then he's actually evil. And that happened 2 times in the original run. Like it happened in season 1 and happened again in season 3, and then Born Again like does the same thing again. And I'm like, man, like I love Kingpin as a villain. But like I think I'm done with the storyline where like everyone thinks, or not everyone, but like a lot of people think that he's actually a good guy. You know? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Little rehashing of plot points.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, like the fight scenes were cool, and what was his name? Bullseye was so cool. I love all the Bullseye moments. Yeah, very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought the end was fantastic too.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I thought it was, I it was very hyped to me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe we need to move on so we don't spoil
Yes,
anything.
yeah. Let's move on. Okay, so I do want to give a shout out to my channel members. I asked them to ask you questions for anyone's that they had, and this one's like not super very related to what we're talking about. But Nar Antlers, he's maybe joking here, but he wanted to ask you, how much do you love Domino, and why is she your favorite hero? And I can already see behind you all the Rocket stuff, and but I know you, I know your favorite hero is Rocket. So can you tell us about where Domino ranks at least? He's as much of a Domino fan as you are a Rocket fan, and I am a Spider-Man
Hey,
fan. So he just wants to know where Domino is like on your list and how much you like enjoy her or if you don't like her.
well, Domino's fantastic. She's extremely powerful. I really like that she can pretty much play in every aspect. She also can play in basics, which is super interesting. Um, but from a design standpoint, not trying to sidestep the question, what an incredible job to get the theme of controlling your luck
Oh yeah.
into the game. I mean, and in multiple ways. Scope your hand, scope the top of your deck, recursion, bonus damage, like all these things that play into the luck. She's fantastic. And then there's just no better feeling than shuffling jackpot back in
Oh
only
yeah.
to draw it again. I mean, that is the Spider-Man backflip moment, right?
Yeah.
We all played the Spider-Man. I'm hoping we all played the Spider-Man pre-con or core box. And we're like, the villain attacked me for three or with charge, right? Rhino with charge and a boost flip. That's like the greatest
Yeah.
moment. Like it's to me, it's everybody's first like great moment where like I am a superhero, and
Yeah.
Domino does that with Jackpot.
Yeah. I mean, that's man. I mean, you make a really good case for Domino. Like, I remember like going, "It's jackpot," and then you put it back in, you shuffle it, and it's like it's jackpot again. Like for your next time that you discard from it,
So fun.
and like in
Yeah.
one turn you get like two or three jackpots. It just feels them. It's like the same as backflip. Yeah, that's a really good comparison. I actually didn't know that the jackpot shuffled back in like my first like I don't know 5 plays with Domino. So you guys watch those early games. All the comments are like, you can shuffle jackpot back in your deck after it gets discarded. Because I usually just toss it as a resource because I'm very like I like playing expensive cards. I like having the economy. So yeah, I was playing her not in like the strongest way for a very long time. Um,
And my favorite Domino combo is Jackpot with Adam Warlock Ally.
Jackpot with the Atom World. Oh, to like
He makes you
discard it.
discard a random card, a
Yeah.
trigger effect based on what, and he has them all.
Oh yeah, that's a fun one. Yeah, you get all the procs there. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for answering the question from our analysts and thank you our analysts for your domino question. Next, we have a question here from Menom. So huge shouts to Menom. They asked, where do Marvel Champions players rank in terms of annoying customers, especially in the past year or two? So if you're like, if you had to rate, like, oh, for example, One Piece customers, they're so good, they're so awesome. Like, where do Marvel Champions customers rank?
Yeah, no, they'd be low on the annoying list.
Okay,
They're
good,
not
good.
super annoying. They come in, they don't take up a lot of table space. Arkham, we got several calls for. Do you have this thing? Do you have that thing? Marvel Champions, a bit fewer in terms of, do you have this thing that's out of print that we could find? But it's reasonable to me that you would call and say, do you have Doctor Strange? Do you
Yeah,
have Miss Marvel? Do you have, whatever? Do you have Sinister Motives? I think that's probably the one that people most ask for.
yeah,
I think I'm not going to drive all the way to your store, but I would drive across state or like weird thing in New England is the states are extremely tiny. So you could
yep,
drive from one state to the other in search of product. I think that's fine compared to something like Pokemon, which is multiple calls per day asking if you have this product
yeah,
that is impossible to get.
yeah. Okay, cool. I
Um,
mean, yeah.
they're not annoying. They're definitely not annoying.
Awesome. I don't know if you're like almost like, being biased because I know you like love Marvel Champions and like the community. But I mean, yeah, I also feel like Marvel Champions in terms of like the like I don't know. Yeah, I would say like even like the Reddit community. I feel like the Marvel Champions community are made up of like the most kind and patient people. But I do feel like that the news with the current environment coming out and out of print stuff is bringing out the worst in all of us, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of that, what is your take on the current environment? Like, So like, on my channel, like I'm not like a huge fan of it. I kind of wish they didn't do that, obviously. But I mean, I have played my fair share of like current environment games on a channel and stuff like that. And I have like, tried to like, dip my toes in it. It's not like the worst thing, but I just feel like it's kind of like arbitrary, especially if I have the entire card pool, which also, I'm also assuming that you also have. So like, do you mind sharing like how you feel on the current environment and any effects that you think it might have had on like sales?
Okay, well, announcing it definitely had an effect on sales. People wanted to pick up things that they thought they couldn't get anymore. So I think from that end, it was nice to know, hey, this is the plan going forward.
Yeah.
In terms of playing, I pretty much have always played with people who have a good portion. I'm not going to say everybody has everything, but a good portion. So longtime players or people who've at least gotten things for a long time or gone back to get older things. So I haven't moved over to like, hey, we're only playing current environment or this thing. I would be super interested in like content creator collaboration of like, let's do a series of videos only in the current environment because the restriction on the card pool is super interesting to me to suddenly not have cards X, Y, and Z, but then have to use these cards. One of the reasons I always love doing rush games or aggro games or whatever the term would be there is that it allowed you to use cards that you don't use in other deck building. And so I love the idea of like, here's a card that doesn't get a lot of play. Let's let's give it some play. So that would be interesting to me, but I have not separated my collection to say this is this format yet,
Yeah.
or moved towards that. So I personally can take it or leave it. If somebody mentioned to me, hey, I only play this, you have a deck that does that, I'd be like, sure, I'll play one of your decks or I'll build something to play with you. That would be fun.
Yeah.
But I don't look at it as something that I would necessarily do permanently.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of the same way, but I actually feel like you actually probably have played a lot more current environment games than you like would have expected. And it's the same for me actually because I mean you're mentioning earlier about pre-con decks, and whenever I first started playing, I never played like whenever I got the core set, I never played the pre-con deck. I just like I broke it like off immediately and just started like making like random stuff. But I've been getting more into playing pre-con decks lately, and I agree with you. Like they're fun. Like the Tigra pre-con has like air cover, and that's like a card that I don't really think is like the most powerful card, but like it's so fun when you're getting that popped off. And I think that there's like unique cards that I probably wouldn't put into a deck just because like I feel like there's so many better options. But like to actually use a card, I think is a lot of fun. And every precon deck is like technically current environment if it's a hero that's released in the last like 3 years or right. If it's a hero that's in the current environment and you're playing the precon, then you're playing the current environment, deck. So every time that you've been doing that for like Hulkling or Tigra or like these newer heroes, it's current environment. And I've been doing a lot of core set only like decks and playthroughs on my channel for like new players that only have the core set. That's also just current environment, right? So if you use Spider-Man's precon, you're playing in the current environment, and I think it's been a nice, kind of like refreshing type of challenge, I guess. But I mean, if I'm facing like a super difficult villain, I'd still want to deck build for it. But I think current environment is, I mean, it has. I think it's more fun whenever like me and you probably like did it without knowing it's a current environment. But I think like
Sure.
actually building like okay, we're gonna look at the card pool from like the last 2 years and only pull from that as our deck building might feel more restrictive and like less fun than just saying okay, I'm only using the pre-con deck, for example. Yeah.
Yeah, I I have streamed every box. Um, and I'm pretty sure I've streamed them either with the precons or I play a certain number of games before I say, okay, I'm tired of having 3 copies of this card. I can't play. I'm going to swap these 2 cards. So, like the adjusted precon.
Yeah.
But every box that I've streamed has been with their original aspects and then just plus or minus some cards, at least.
Yeah.
And typically the ones where I built, I was playing with other people. So, like, I know when I did Mutant Genesis, it's behind me here, with Larry, we played Colossus and Shadowcat, and like after 2 games, we adjusted the deck. Then I did Agents of Shield with Matthew, and we adjusted a little bit afterward. And I've done several of them two-handed myself. I love showing players that experience. I know some people don't want to see the box and the campaign. I do the campaign, until they played it themselves. But hopefully they can go back and see that. And then, yeah, like I said, I like to show that. Plus, it kind of gives me the challenge of like, can you pilot this with this deck? And it's not your own, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think precons are like underrated. I for sure like underrated them for a very long time. And yeah, I think that a lot of people do that where they just the three of cards that you only have one in play, just take two of them out and like put something else in there. Um,
Well,
yeah.
and from a store perspective, they're genius because we're sitting playing Marvel Champions, and by all means, somebody can join the group and borrow my deck. But they're like,
Mm,
I really like Wolverine. And then, oh, is Wolverine in the game? Yeah, there's a Wolverine hero pack right there. They go, they buy it, they shuffle it up, and they start playing with you. And they have a perfectly playable experience. I mean, that's amazing compared to
yeah.
going back to the days of Lord of the Rings where there weren't even pre-constructed decks. There were just cards in a box and you needed to buy 3 copies.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay, so I can see like especially from like a store perspective too, how like because like I mean I've always been spoiled with having precon, so it's not sorry my cat just jumped on the table. But yeah, yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense too. For why you have like a deep love for precons in your
Yeah,
heart.
yeah.
So I also wanted to ask you at what point in Marvel Champions like the lifespan of the game would you say that the sales were the best? Like sales were booming the most during like when? And if you don't have an answer, that's completely fine too. But just if you felt like there's a period of time, like which cycle?
Yeah, my guess is going to be the launch right into COVID. Like the
Oh,
fact
okay,
that
okay.
everybody was home and in America, I'm assuming other countries, there was money being provided to people to be able to stay home. So people who were in an okay spot where they could spend money on a hobby were probably putting more money into their hobbies at that time because they were home more often.
Yeah.
So I think that lifespan, that like 2020 was probably the best time of sales for us in some sense. Because so many people, yeah, were just purchasing. Plus, there was a very strong release schedule. Like it was monthly and it
Yeah.
was intense. Whereas now the release schedule has slowed down significantly. But I will say that we sold over 3 dozen Wonder Man and Hercules packs in the last release. And that's
Nice.
very high.
Okay.
To sell those basically on release or the week of release
Yeah.
to sell 3 dozen for a mid-sized store like ours. I'm sure there's large stores, Game Center and the like, that are selling those in the tens of dozens.
Yeah.
But that was really big, and so we just have a few packs left from a second follow-up order
Gotcha.
of those. So there's no doubt that when something new comes out, it's very big for the store right now. It is between pre-sales and sales the week it comes out. It's strong.
No,
So it's in a good spot right now for us.
nice. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know about like what would be considered like good numbers, so it's good to hear that. So it's like about 3 dozen is like a very good in sales, and cool to hear that because I thought Wonder Man and Hercules, like two of the you know, bottom tier heroes in Marvel Champions. Like I didn't even know about like them until like the Wonder Man Disney Plus show, and like Hercules whenever he showed up in like Thor 4, I was like, oh, who's that guy? So it's cool to see that they sold well. What would you say like the normal sales are for a new hero pack? Like let's say, I don't know, like Silk or like Black Panther Shuri.
Those were probably closer to 2 dozen.
Okay.
That was kind of our typical order. To be fair, the weekend that Hercules and Wonder Man came out, we had a 40-person event of Marvel Champions at the
Okay.
store.
Gotcha. Maybe that could have influenced some things too, but
Yeah. But after that event was over, things continued to sell. We ordered more, and they continued to sell. So
awesome. Gotcha.
from that
Yeah.
standpoint, there are people buying it, and I know several people that'll set a pre-order beside, and they don't attend the event, like they're just
Yeah.
playing at home.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm super surprised to hear that because, like, for me personally, I'm more excited for like even Shuri Black Panther, Silk, of course, and then like Falcon, and especially like Bucky Winter Soldier, more than like Hercules and Wonder Man. You know what I mean? So I'm shocked that. I mean, I know that you like had the event there too, but like I'm shocked to hear that it picked up after that Agent of Shield wave. That like maybe they weren't like the biggest characters, but they're like pretty well known. Especially like Falcon and Bucky. So
Yeah.
that's very interesting. Yeah.
And
So yeah.
For us, it's growing in popularity. We're having more and more people play. One of our local players does not play with us weekly typically, but he did submit a campaign to the campaign contest and won. He was one of the winning ones.
Nice.
So I'm planning on playing his campaign
Nice.
in the summer with
Yeah.
the new box.
That's awesome. Sorry, my cat's like messing around. I don't want it to close the laptop. I had a few more questions about those sales. So, I know that you said that, the sales are picking up more, but I would even say like for like the Winter Soldier, Silk like wave, it was kind of like a low for Marvel Champions. So like thinking back about like what I thought would be the peak point of sales, I thought it would be like X-Men. So I was surprised to hear you say like 2019, 2020, like in the COVID era, um, like right when the game dropped, I guess. So if we were to say like for X-Men, I don't know if you remember if you have the numbers in your head or anything. If you don't, that's completely okay. Like how much do you think like Cyclops packs sold? Like do you guys think that you met that same amount for like Wonder Man, and Herc for like Cyclops Wolverine? Because like that's when I think the game was like probably at its highest point. Other than the like release of the game and like during COVID.
Yeah. Uh, I mean, the best I can say is 2 dozen because that's our typical order, which has probably increased now. I'm
Okay.
guessing with the upcoming product, we'll probably go to 3 dozen. Um,
Nice.
and as we order 2 dozen and there's none left,
Yeah.
that makes me feel pretty strong. I don't remember ordering. I don't do the ordering, so I
Yep.
don't remember ordering more or getting more to put out
Okay.
specifically. So I would say somewhere in that range for us was what we were selling there. And yeah, it was a weird spot because it was like people are excited for X-Men, but also like there was a lull in the game only in that games that are out for 3 years and people who have it shelved aren't taking it out. They're like, am I going to go do this for X-Men? Am I going to not? So
Yeah.
it's interesting in that piece though. Was that? I will also say that our store is different because I mean you have me there. I am a prolific Marvel Champions players, and I mean that solely by numbers.
Yeah.
I have thousands of plays. I believe I'm over 6,000
Oh
plays
wow,
with Marvel
six
Champions at this
thousand!
point.
Holy cow, that's crazy.
So I'm a strong
Yeah.
uh, person for the game, and getting people to try it and play and everything.
Yeah.
That definitely helps a lot
Yeah.
for those things. So there's a lot of stores where they're just putting it out. There's nobody running the event. It's just come in and pick it up, like buying a Twix bar, right,
Yeah.
at a gas station. It's there and you buy it. And there's not a connection. There's not a community. There isn't even a connection between the player and their store. It's just a store they're buying it from.
Yeah.
And that's the piece I think if people were interested in building more community. Like I was at Con of Heroes this last weekend and talking to people, and I was saying, I think if you really get something started in your house or a library or just a common meetup area, and now you have something going and bring it to a store and say, hey, we would like to play here weekly. We've got everything figured out. Some stores charge, some don't. Figure out what they want to do. Do they want to give you a one-time charge, a monthly charge, whatever? And say, can we play here? Kind of we'll oversee this, and hopefully your sales can pick up on Marvel Champions, kind of thing. Like I think that's a good way players could think about going to a store and presenting that to them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a great idea. Like I've actually done that in like my area here, where like me and like three friends, we just like asked the store we could go play, and then like they said that we just play for free. So they had like tables and everything. They didn't like they carried Marvel Champions, but like I was saying, like they only had like Galaxy Most Wanted and like the core set. And people will always walk by and like maybe sit down with us and watch us play. But I don't think we actually ever got like we played for like maybe a year at the store, but I don't think we actually ever got any new players. But I think it's also because the store like they kept telling us that they would try to reestablish like I forget the terminology, but like they had the thing with Asmodee, and then like they like lost or something like that. So they just had the core set in the Galaxies, and I wanted to get like new products from the store too to like support the store and everything, but they couldn't reestablish like the connection, I guess. So they just never what was able to bring in. I think maybe the store was too small, and like I don't know, Asmodee didn't I have no clue how that stuff works, but yeah, I don't know if they had the actual products if like if we would have been able to convince people. But the game owner played with us one time too, and he was very very nice. He normally plays One Piece TCG and yeah, that other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you if you go to a store and you play whatever, if they're charging you, then that's great. Do it that way. If not, just find some way to support that store, whether you're
Yeah.
buying your packs there or everybody's monetary limits are different. So I would never tell people exactly, but if it's got to be a water and a candy bar, like that's fine. It's something to just say thank you for letting us play in space. It also could be simple as that. Thank
Yeah.
you for letting us use your space today.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's just nice, good feedback for the store. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming. It was great to meet you. What's your name? Right? And you build community that way.
Yeah. One thing that we always did was buying sleeves. 'Cause I know everyone like needs sleeves, so if you guys want to support your local game store, just get like a pack of sleeves whenever you guys drop by or whatever. So yeah. Jumping a little bit back over to what you said earlier for Cyclops, it's confirmed here, guys, that the state of Marvel Champions right now is better with Wonder Man Hercules than it was with Cyclops and Wolverine. The game is selling more than it ever has before. 100% confirmed by Brandt here, and his store is representative of every single store in the world.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I'm shocked. I am shocked to hear that. I can't believe it. And like I don't know. Thinking about their designs, I do think that like a lot of those X-Men were designed very well. But I would say the pre-con for sure for Wonder Man and Herc, I think they're more easy to be played out like straight from the pack than a lot of those
Mhm.
X-Men. Because the X-Men stuff usually they want other stuff like the X-Jet, Utopian stuff like that, and Cyclops wants that whole array of like X-Men allies. So like I think that the pre-cons are probably more self-sustainable. But it's just I mean yeah I mean I'm probably gonna make it a thumbnail of this video or something like Hercules, greater than Cyclops, I guess, because
There you go.
yeah, how are the sales more for Hercules? Yeah, that's insane. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's just more local players, more people coming through, more people knowing about the game, more people really getting back into the game. I mean, X Men seemed like a perfect time for people to get back in as well,
yeah,
but people seem to be jumping in now. And I mean, it's a great part of LCGs that CCGs don't have. CCGs use rotation so that you only need a certain card pool, and there's kind of that going on. But like LCGs are just like you can play with. I mean, you're doing it. Captain Marvel is as good today as she was years ago. Spider-Man is as good today as he was years ago. They still work.
yeah,
And by adding cards to the card pool, it only makes those older heroes play better,
exactly. Yeah,
and newer, fresher. So
yeah,
it's a nice part is you can just kind of always use everything and collect as you go. For the most part, I realize things are now out of print, and that's not quite true.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, like I wasn't like I didn't know about Marvel Champions whenever Cyclops came out, so I can't really speak on like older players jumping back in. But right now with Daredevil's release, I see like so many comments all the time. They're like I quit Marvel Champions, but I'm coming back in for Daredevil. Like I'm coming back in for Fear No Evil. And yeah, it's really encouraging to see. So anyone that thinks the game is dying, I mean you heard it here from Brandt like that. It's selling better than ever. And speaking of Fear No Evil. Do you guys know, like, I wanted to ask you guys if there is a lot of pre-orders for Fear No Evil? Like, has there been, like, is it spiking in terms of, like, pre-orders and stuff like that? And, yeah, the other question I had was, are more people getting into the game? But you already told us that there are. So, yeah, just in pure numbers, do you feel like there's more pre-orders?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely think Daredevil is leading people to say, I'm going to get this. I also think the idea that some things have gone out of print tell people, well, I'm going to get it. Because if I don't buy it now and 2 years from now I decide, oh, I want that. And then suddenly, it's not, and I don't know that. That's an FFG thing. I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
yeah,
since they rotated some stuff out, people might be, wanting to get it. But I think Daredevil is just definitely a hero that people have wanted for so long and that people connect with, you know.
yeah.
I think so. There's definitely been more interest in picking up this book.
Yeah, I mean, even though you didn't have like a comic book connection to Daredevil, I mean, even you watched the Disney Plus show, so I'm sure anyone that's watched that and like likes it definitely wants to play some Daredevil here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then you also so you run like events for Marvel Champions every single year, right?
Twice a year.
Twice a year. Oh, okay.
It's winter and summer.
Okay, so winter and summer. Okay, so the summer event is coming up soon, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah. Assemble or Assemble Con is what a lot of people are calling it. Is our event. And it is actually separate from the portal. There's a
Okay.
separate group of people who are running that. I am involved in that as well, but it is hosted by the portal. So I do tell people don't contact the portal. They don't have the answers to the questions because we're the ones,
Okay.
the assemble team is what it's me and even more so other people who are handling those things. But yeah, it's a twice a year event. We think of it as kind of a retreat. It's like
Yeah.
a chance to get away and play Marvel Champions in kind of a obviously bigger than being at home, but a smaller venue to some of the other conventions, especially going to something like Gen Con or PAX Unplugged. Like
Yeah.
you're going to get a Marvel Champions only event. And so we did one in February. We had a gigantic blizzard. I mean,
Oh man.
once in a decade blizzard. It was 22 inches, and the show still went on. So one of
Nice.
the things people say is, "Are you crazy running something in February in Connecticut in the winter?" Absolutely, and we did it and pulled it off. So I have no fears anymore.
Nice. Nice. That's awesome.
Everybody made it home and made it home safely.
Good. Good.
A couple flights that got bounced around for people, but they made it in time and we got through it. So
Yeah.
we're running one again in July.
Okay.
This one is themed zombies. So it's always like assemble something. So it's assemble cosmic encounters. And in that one, we had a cosmic mode. So players were playing 8-player tables or six. It's a 5 to 8-player mode in under 90 minutes.
Nice.
So it was kind of the design idea of like, what happens if 5 people show up? We can't play Marvel Champions. 3 and 2. Nope. We made a mode to go to 5 to 8 players. It plays in under 90 minutes.
Nice.
And so players played the cosmic mode, which massively shortens the villain phase. So the villain just does 1 boost card and 1 encounter card for the table, and you keep going from there.
Oh, okay.
We made a cosmic encounter deck with like giant minions in it and giant side schemes that do all sorts of crazy stuff. We had a smash up mode where you can take Thor and Cap and shuffle them together.
What?
So now Cap can wield Thor's hammer.
Nice.
And you build a deck and you are OP. And then some of our other people, Larry specifically is the brainchild, he made villains for people to play that were smashed up. So they were harder than normal.
Nice.
So now you take your OP deck and you fight OP villains. So you fight Venom Goblin, and then when you defeat him on the first stage, he splits to Venom and Goblin.
Oh, that's
and
so
you have
cool.
to do with that.
Yeah, yeah, nice.
So lots of good thematic stuff. We had a corrupted symbiote suit. So now the villain can wear the symbiote suit. So the villain gets the plus stats and the plus health, but you all get +1 card in your hand. So now you feel more powerful, but you're fighting something more powerful. Yeah. That's what we did for our cosmic mode. For zombies, we're going to do a campaign. And we've seen several campaigns and the ways things work. And so we really wanted like a story narrative driven campaign. And so for it, it's actually going to be in 3 play sessions: Friday, Saturday morning, and Saturday evening. And it's 3 separate sessions. And deliberately, our intention is you can play with a different group every time. So you're not locked into a campaign structure with the same group. Because in fact, in zombies, you're running around just for survival. And you can play a different hero. If you just decide, I don't feel like being this hero anymore, I want to be this one, you can. And you can just be like, that one now is a zombie.
Yeah, nice. That's funny.
And you can just change your perspective in the story. So it's a 3-part campaign. I took it. In fact, Web-Warrior is going to have some play on his channel.
Yes.
Here soon. So the very beginning one is 2 mod sets. There's a standard mod set and a zombie horde mod set. And you're going to see that. And I took it to Con of Heroes, and I think I played it at least a dozen times with players. Got a lot of eyes on it. People loved it. So the first scenario can kind of be played over and over again, which is part of what we're trying to do at Assemble. We're giving you an experience that you get at a convention, but also something you could take home and easily experience again. I don't want to say repeat because you can't get the feeling of 40 people in a room playing together.
Yeah.
But you can get the experience of like, hey, you have these mod sets that you can play with your local players and shuffle into anything. The second scenario, then there's a second scenario on Saturday morning, which will be adjusted based on how the players do on Friday. And then Saturday night will be the finale, which is a full-fledged villain. It's a whole villain encounter, so it's not just mod sets. Oh, the second one has new mod sets. So there'll be mod sets beyond what you'll see from some of the channels and things. And the final one is a villain encounter. Larry is the designer, and he came to me to do some of the development and said, this is what I want to do. It's never been done in Marvel Champions before. And I said, you're crazy. We can't do that. And I'm not a hyperbolic person. And 3 months later, after some development and play testing, I said, well, wow, we pulled it off. We did a thing that's never been done before. And I don't mean to do that. And then it's a huge letdown. I don't think it'll be a letdown with people. We've done a really neat thing with the final villain encounter, which we will get out to people after the event. But we have kept it under wraps
Yeah.
Even the guys that I stream on the channel with, they don't know about it.
Oh
So
wow. Okay. Nice. I'm super excited to
one
see
of
what
them
that
has been
is.
working with me, but the others don't. I've kept it under wraps. So I think that'll be a lot of fun for people to check out.
Gotcha.
We want to kind of give that experience of a campaign, but then basically you go home, you have the mod sets, and you have the final villain that you can play. So not necessarily that you would experience the campaign again.
Yeah.
That's kind of over. But we have that. And it's a similar kind of thing that we want to do for upcoming events. We're like, here's this experience, but then we have some thematic mod sets or hero cards or whatever it is for you to take home with you, experience something in that thematic realm.
Nice. That sounds great. Can you explain a little bit for like people that have never been to the convention, like what they would need to bring, if they need to bring their own decks, or would decks be provided?
Yeah. Yeah. Certainly we'll have a lot on hand. Those of us who are local, it's easiest for us to kind of bring our whole collection. I should mention it's July 17th to the 19th in Connecticut. If people were to travel, if you're in the area, it's a very easy drive. It's right off the highway, so that's easy. If you were to fly in, you can go to Bradley Airport, which is the Hartford airport, and you can take an Uber to the venue. It's close. So Bradley's a little smaller airport, so it's trickier to get to that airport, but just the Hartford airport is all you have to do. We're very close to there.
Okay.
Yeah, in terms of that, it's best if you bring your hero decks.
Okay.
Once people sign up, which there's links down below to get a badge, they're $50 for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have the keys, so we can be open as often as you want. There's tons of playtime. And I will send out an email with specifically what is needed. The
Okay.
final for the campaign is something we already made. The initial, you can play with anything. So it's that middle scenario that has 3 different villains that would be required, which I will let people know as we get closer to that, what they need to bring. But otherwise, you want to bring heroes that you like to play, build your decks. You want to bring, your tokens and things like that. You want to bring villains that you can play with. And then depending, sometimes people bring sleeves. I found from Con of Heroes this weekend that people were fine with like, hey, I've got the ruby sleeves and you have clear sleeves. Just shuffle it in. We all know it's my obligation. It's
Yeah.
not a big. It wasn't a big
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So, but sometimes people bring extra sleeves of their type for their villain deck, and then everybody can sleeve their cards. And then making sure afterward that you don't leave the table
Oh
until
yeah.
everybody gets all their stuff back.
Yeah.
Or if that does happen, you contact the people and they get those to you. So that's usually pretty much all you have to bring. Recommend some water or something
Yeah.
like that for the day. There's great food in Manchester, Connecticut. I have no idea why. It's not the most amazing city in the world, but the food is absolutely fantastic. So there's easily drivable places, plenty of people with cars that you can go with.
Nice.
And then there's a book. The store itself has a book where you could just place an order, and DoorDash and all that Uber Eats will all deliver to our location. So you can
Nice.
get food. But you want to make sure you take those breaks. At Con of Heroes, I didn't eat for 24 hours.
What? That's crazy.
Thanks so much. I
Yeah.
kept being like, yeah, I'll go get dinner. And then
So
somebody
much
like, oh, can
fun.
we try zombies? Sure. Oh, can we try this? Sure. I made a rocket villain, so everybody was fighting the rocket
Whoa,
villain with
that's
me. They were
cool.
excited about
Nice.
that. And so I make sure you eat. I don't recommend doing what I did. Although I also
Yeah.
made sure that I got Dairy Queen every day because that was super fun.
Nice. Nice. Cool. So it sounds like most things are gonna be like covered. Like they don't have to worry about too much in terms of like many stuff to bring. Just like bringing like a deck that you like for a hero or something like that should be enough, and just having some water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any? So I know people I know that I'm really excited for like perks. So like I know that you can't give away what you're giving out for like the like big villain, but what other things can people expect to get if they if they attend?
Yeah, so we have a prize table, and last time we did, Sandy was nice enough to get us. Sandy's one of the people that attends the Con of Heroes. There's kind of like oversized hero cards. I wish I had my rocket right
Oh,
here. I would show it. So we have those. Here he is. Hold on. So it's like a giant version,
whoa, that's
uh,
awesome.
regular card comparison. So
Yeah, yeah.
we have some of those at the
So
prize
cool.
table, other things that people bring to give away and whatnot. We have a series of assemble all art heroes that have been made that we usually have, and then all sorts of other surprises and things that we have for people to check out as well.
Nice. Awesome. Okay, cool.
Oh, in the past we have had a first player token. Another thing I should have had on me. So we had a 3D printed Cap shield as a first player
Oh,
token.
nice.
And
Nice.
before that, we did Thor's hammer for our Loki event. We did a multiplayer Loki, and everybody got Mjolnir as a
That's
first
awesome.
player token. So we will have another first player token for this one as well,
Cool.
if all goes according to plan.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, it sounds great. Yeah, and then you sent me like some of the zombie cards. So
Mhm.
whenever hopefully that I can get that in the mail soon, and then I'm going to play it on my channel for anyone that's interested to see how that runs and everything. Is there anything else that you want to add for the convention? If like there's any news or anything else that you want to add for anyone that's watching right now?
Yeah, so a couple things I want to let people know is if you haven't been to a convention, they're really fun. It can be awkward at first trying to find games with people. So there's things to do. It's nice at ours because it tends to be smaller than going to some bigger things. I'm not even saying the other Marvel Champions conventions. I'm just saying conventions in general. Because a smaller number means you kind of get to play with everybody if you want to, or you can lock in with one person and kind of that's the person you play with the whole time. And you get to know people. It's pretty easy to find those things. The other thing I will say is I know like custom content can be a little bit awkward for people. Like, is this balanced? What is this? Why am I playing it? Kind of where we went with zombies. Like, it's just such a fun theme to throw into Marvel, and it's like tipping Marvel on its head, right? It's like now we could just kind of do whatever we want because it's almost an alternate universe. But I will say that this has been play tested over 50 times by the people we had playing it. So it's very well thought out. Like it's not meant to overwhelm you or underwhelm you. Like it does a very good job. So we tried to make something that was, will be well received and easily used was part of the other idea. We didn't want to make it so overly complex that it's like, great, you're a veteran player with, hundreds of plays, but what if I've only played a handful of times? So definitely check out conventions. I think it's fun. If not, conventions, trying to find a local place to play. I don't think, to me, there's nothing better than a 4-player game of Champions, especially with somebody running a nice, smooth villain where it just doesn't get in your way. And you're running that game in under 2 hours. It's just such a blast to start interacting with the other players. Oh, I could deal 26 damage if I didn't have this guard minion. Oh, let me take care of that guard
Yeah.
minion for you. It's such a great moment. Like you feel great, they feel great. It's so fun. We get to interact this way. Hey, would you like me to put this endurance on you?
Yeah.
No, I would hate having 3 more health.
Hey,
So that's
yeah, yeah,
that's really exciting
yeah.
for that.
Hey, would you be okay if I die as Deadpool and add another acceleration token on the main scheme? Yeah, go ahead.
We played a game this past weekend, and it was Strange, Deadpool, Cap, and Ironheart. And I was
Okay.
like, this is ridiculous. We are playing on Heroic. And we played on
Oh,
Heroic, and it was
wow.
still in the park.
Nice,
And that's
nice.
what Deadpool was doing. He died every turn until we had
Oh
8
man,
acceleration.
that doesn't sound like an easy game at all. That sounds terrible.
It was great. It was 2 hours.
Nice, nice.
Those heroes are very strong.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's it for this episode here. Thank you so much, Brandt, for making the time to come on. If you guys want any of the information that we talked about in this video, it will all be, in the description of this video. Yeah, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment. I reply to every single comment, and if there's anything I don't know, I will ask Brandt too, and I will make sure to get back to you guys. So, yeah, I hope you guys have a really good turnout there. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything for it, yeah, just feel free to drop a comment down below.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Bye, guys.